Sometimes we may not have created all the intents users need, or we may have some negative sentiment from them. In cases like this, it will be useful or necessary to have a real person handle the conversation. So it's time to find out where we can go to read, control and manage conversation with our users. It's very simple because you just go here under conversation, we'll open in another tab for convenience, and enter a new workspace. Here you can see on the left side a list containing all the users who have started conversation with our chatbots. Here I have a user named Prenota Book, which we will fix this soon because it's quite wrong. What can we see about him? His last contact was 13 minutes ago. He comes from the web channel because we have the icon of the site. And how long ago he signed up? So 10 days ago in this case. Below we can see my user inside the Telegram channel. Here we get another information, such as the Italian language. The same data is available also in the Facebook Messenger channel below. Some channels provides also an avatar, the image we use to identify ourselves within these channels. You can switch between conversation by simply clicking the user here in the list. Here you can also do a search and apply filters to get only users having some properties. You can also import users from other platforms, export Xenioo's one externally, hide empty conversations and disable notifications from the chat. By clicking here, we see every information about the conversation we have with our chatbot inside the chat area. These are the previous tests we did before in the previous videos. Finally, here on the right side, you can see the variables category, runtime, system and privacy, or even tags. Let's check this for example. We know we are in the web channel. This conversation has its own unique identifier and last operator's email address who managed the conversation. Or at the system level, I can access other variables. For example, you see that there is a username book, Prenota, which is book in English. It's not a username. Well, I can go here to fix and change the value, so I can call him Luciano Web. From here I can interact and change variable values as well as assign tags. Do you see? Here I have all tags and I can assign, for example, a man tag. Now let's take a look at this conversation in the web channel. We receive this message and 3 buttons: new order, cancel order and shipping status. We won't use the buttons, so I write I'd like to change my shipping address. The chatbot doesn't understand, so it asks to try again with different words. Let's see everything inside Xenioo. User entered and sent this request, and this is the chatbot's response, who doesn't know how to go on because we have not prepared a specific intent. Let's see what else we can do here. You can click this icon, then conversation, then take over conversation, to take control of the conversation with the user. At this moment, the chatbot is off. The user is chatting with the human person who manages the conversation. This way, I can directly say something like, "Hi, I'm Luigi and I'll help you change your address," and send the message by clicking the send button. Let's go back to the web channel now, so now we are the user, and see that we receive the operator's response in live chat. On the Xenioo side, we have the conversation status, defined by this operator icon, chat taken over. The same icon will also be here at the bottom right. When the live chat ends and we want to return the user to the chatbot, we always click here, then conversation, hand over to Xenioo. If the user writes something like "I want to eat something," and NLP intent recognizes the request and manages it automatically. About NLP, on the conversation page, you can directly link users' phrases to their intents. A pop-up will open so you can connect the expression to a specific intent. This sentence is evaluated and we can proceed. Here we can do many other things. Click on the privacy voice and so you can download the conversation to your PC as well as forget the user. This removes all his data from Xenioo. Let's go back to the conversation where you can take over the conversation and send template messages. They will be divided and contained inside the topics, like here where I'm going to send a ready-made response for technical assistance related to problems with accessing the Wi-Fi network. You can block the user. In this way you will ignore every message from him, so there will be no chatbot activity. You can assign the conversation to a specific operator and finally mark it as read. With the view item we can hide or show the variable panel. The system messages, this one with the orange background. Or take a look at the execution diagram, where you can check all the interactions. Here you can see that the user wanted something to eat, and this request triggered the order pasta intent with 100% of confidence, and so on. Let's see now the share item to create view URL that does exactly what you think. You can create a URL that will allow each member of your team to view the conversation for the next 48 hours. Create takeover URL will do a similar thing, but will also give your team the ability to manage the conversation by interacting with the user. Finally, you can remove all shares, which deletes the previous operations. Working as a team is very easy with Xenioo. Let's find out what you can do with your team. Under Settings, Team, you'll find team members and template messages, which we have already seen before. As you can see, here we have a message with its title and category. But let's go back to the team members item, where you can create and manage your work team. In this example, I want to create a customer care team. I will then enter the email address of the person who will be part of it, the name of the group, customer care, and the permissions of the team member, flagging the operation I want to grant. Then I click on Send Invitation to invite this person. Team preferences are updated and I can see I have one request pending for this user. In the meantime, the user has received the invitation. He just needs to connect with a Xenioo profile to access the team and work. Now let's see how to assign a conversation to a team member. I can choose the group, administrators, and the operator, Luciano Test, and set a message that will be sent to the user in the conversation. Something like, your conversation has been assigned to Luciano Test by the administrator team. Please wait while we transfer it. We click Assign and we see the user receives that message inside the web chat. Finally, I can hand over to Xenioo the conversation with this specific item. A little tip: go and try to find out everything you can do in the conversation section, because it is very important and full of features. See you in the next video, where we'll talk about broadcast messages.